Hi, everyone. Today we are going to compare and order large numbers up to 1,200 using comparative language. So let's start out by talking about some of the key vocabulary words that you're going to need to know. So the first one that I want you to pay attention to is the word comparative language. When we use this language in math, we're talking about putting numbers in order from either least to greatest or greatest to least. We use words like greater than, less than, equal to, and we use symbols for each of these. And I know that you guys know these. The greater than symbol looks like this. The less than symbol looks like this. And the equal to symbol is what we use in equations every day, the equal sign. Okay. That's some of the language that I really want you to pay attention to and know inside and out. So let's go ahead and this is a review, I know, for a lot of you. I don't think we had really any problems on this, so I don't suspect that you'll have problems doing this. You might even enjoy it. So let's do some of these together. We have 643 and 559. Of these two numbers, we need to determine which one is the greatest number. And the greatest number we can determine by looking first at the hundreds place. I have 600 here. I have 500 here. That right there tells me that the 600 is the larger. So I'm going to use the sign greater than. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Sorry. Oops. Sorry. Okay. So the sentence now reads 643 greater than 559. And that is a true statement. Okay. We're going to now do this one. 428, 275. So let's look at the hundreds place. And again, here we have 400 here. We have 200 here. We know that the 400 is greater than 200. So we'll use that greater than sign. Remember, we've talked about the symbol, and it always opens towards the larger number. So if you're curious about which one, remember, you always want it to be open towards the larger number. But I'd like for you to know them, all of them. Here we have 521, 428. Again, we can look at that hundreds place. 500, 400, 500 is larger. So we will make that a greater than sign. Okay, let's go to this one. We have 865, 954. We go to the hundreds place. 800 is smaller than 900. So here, we need it to open to the larger number. We're going to use that less than sign. So 865 less than 954. All right. Right. Remember that anytime that we have these comparisons that we're doing, we can write them in more than one way. And so we're going to take these 4 that we just did and we're going to write them in another way. So let me show you what I mean by that. Let's look at this first one. We have 643 greater than 559. And that's a true statement. But I could also say that if that is true, that I could say 559 is less than 643. And I need you to notice that these 2 statements are both true. What is different is I have flipped the numbers. And when I flipped the numbers, I flipped the sign. So that now when I read this, it says 559 less than 643, which is true. Okay, let's try the next one. Okay, so 428 is greater than 275. If that's true, then 275 is less than 428 would also be true. Again, here, I did the same thing. I flipped the 275 and the 428, and then I flipped the sign. Okay? Let's look at this next one. 521 is greater than 428. If that's true, then I also know that I can flip those 2 numbers and I can flip the sign and make another comparison that is true. Okay. Oops, did I do it? Let me do that here. So 428 less than 521. And that's a true comparison as well. Okay, so I want you to try this one at home, and I'm going to give you just a second to do that. 865 is less than 954. So if you know that that comparison is true, what other comparison do you know is true that you can make? Try that. Okay, hopefully you had a second to do that. And if you did, then hopefully this is what you did. We just are going to flip those numbers to make a new comparison with a true statement. So we're going to say 954 is greater than, is greater than 865. Sorry. Okay. That's good. All right. So now we're going to talk about ordering. Okay. And ordering is just when we put things in order. Maybe we do it from least to greatest or greatest to least. Let's look at what we have here. Whoops. Okay. I'm going to give you a list, okay, of numbers. So we have cookies, 125, cakes, 75, candy, 275. Pies, 280. And fruit parfaits, 150. Okay? If I needed to put these in order from the least to the greatest, this is what it would look like. I find the smallest number in my list. In this particular list, there were 75 cakes. So that is my smallest number. And I'm going to put it here. If you notice, when I'm ordering these, I start by looking at the largest place. And here I have 200 is my largest place. But there is no hundreds place for this number. So I know it's the smallest. Then I'm going to go to the next smallest. When I look at 125, which was cookies, and 150, which was fruit parfaits, both of them have a hundreds place. So then I'm going to look at the tens place. And in this particular case, I have a 20 here and I have a 50 here. 20 is smaller than 50. So I know that 125 is less than 150. Then I move to the hundreds place again, and I look. I have 200 here, and I have 200 here. So again, I'm going to have to look at the tens place now. And here I have 70, and here I have 80. 70 is less than 80. So I know when I finish this list that I have put these in least to greatest order. I know that all of this is a review for you, but I want to show you also ordering and then using it in a comparative language sentence. So I have put these numbers, and then I have used my greater than, less than sign to signify here which one is greater or less than, either way you want to look at it. And then I'm going to read this sentence for you. Since I did least to greatest, I used the less than sign. So 75 is less than 125, which is less than 150, less than 275, less than 280. Sometimes that can get confusing, but what I want you to notice is that, one, they are in order from least to greatest, and then the sign that is between them is actually the same sign because they're in that order. So what I am saying is 75 is less than 125. 125 is less than 150. And 150 is less than 275. And 275 is less than 280. Okay. I want you to do the same thing that we just did. We're going to put this list in greatest to least. So this, we're going to go opposite what we just did. We're going to put it greatest to least. So let me read you what the situation is, and then we're going to try it. So it says, Carrollton Elementary School has a cookie sale and raises money for the school. How many were sold in the second grade class? The top class got extra recess. Okay. So I don't really want us to have to figure out how many were. We're not going to do the math problem today because we're worried about the comparing and ordering, and I want to shorten this video. So let's just look at this, and we're going to try to figure out some of the questions to the who is the top class. So Miss Hall sold 523. Miss Grilly sold 540. and Miss Flanagan sold 521. So let's look at these numbers. First off, they're all in the 500s. That's the first thing that we can notice. So we are going to have to look at their tens place. So when we look at the tens place, we have 20 in Miss Hall's, we have 40 in Miss Grilly, and we have 20 in Miss Flanagan. Oh no. So Miss Flanagan and Miss Hall both have 20. So we are going to have to move to the ones place and look at the ones place. And here we have 3 in Miss Hall's class and we have 1 in Miss Flanagan's class. That's how we determine all the way through how to do it. So, who has the greatest number? Miss Grilly's very good. So Miss Grilly has the greatest number. Oops. Okay. Can we put them in order from greatest to least? Well, we can. We had 540. We had 523. And we had 521. Sorry. How did we get that? Well, we just talked about that. We first looked at the hundreds place, then we looked at the tens place, then we looked at the ones place. Okay? Now, if we were to write this in a comparative math sentence, it would look like this. 540 is greater than 523, which is greater than 521. That's our comparative language sentence. I want you to try some of these on your own. So there's an assignment that I've done here for you. I want to caution you, make sure you're looking. Is this asking you for least to greatest or greatest to least? Make sure that you use your comparative language when talking and also when writing it. Greater than, less than, or equal to. Okay, guys, see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.